Hi grade 11, in today's video we are going to do inventory system. So please make sure that you watch all this video so that you can understand all the procedure that I'm going to do in this video. So in today's video guys, I'm going to do a 2022 question paper which was written on September. Okay, so before we waste any other time guys, let's go and read the question. Okay, so the information that we have on this question paper, they said it was question 3, inventory system. Okay, they said Zama Kumalo ran a small courier shop called Kumalo Couriers in St. Lucia. Okay, then they said all items that are sold in the shop are purchased from community members to assist them in making an income to support their family. Okay, then information number 2, they say that Kumalo Couriers uses a periodic inventory system to calculate a cost of sales. All right, guys. Grade 11, before we proceed with this question, I want to explain the difference between a periodic and perpetual inventory system. The reason is because in this question paper, we are only going to focus on periodic inventory system. So you have to know what is the difference between the two. Okay, let's start. Periodic, we also have a perpetual. We have two inventory system. Okay, number 1 is periodic, number 2 is perpetual. All right, so when we talk about a periodic inventory system, what must come in your mind first is that this system used by small business. Okay, periodic inventory system used by small business. Why used by small business? Because a small business cannot afford to buy expensive system or software, because when you deal with perpetual, you must have a system, a software, a computers that you are going to use to record your transactions. So when we talk about a periodic, it's used by small business because they don't afford expensive equipment. Okay, this simply means that under a periodic inventory system, they won't be able to calculate a cost of sales each and every transaction. Okay, this system does not calculate cost of sales each and every transaction. So that's what you have to know under what? A periodic inventory system. Simple means that when you calculate a cost of sales under a periodic, you are only going to calculate it at the end of the year, and you are going to use a formula, a manual formula, to calculate your cost of sales. Okay, now let's come to a perpetual inventory system. Of course, it's the opposite with the periodic. A perpetual is used by big companies. It's used by big companies. The reason is because big companies can be able to afford expensive equipment. Can afford expensive equipment. Okay, so the last one, of course, under a perpetual inventory system, a system is going to calculate cost of sales and each and every point of transaction. When we make a sales, a cost of sales is going to calculate at the same time, because it's the system, is not a person. So at a point of sales, cost of sales will be calculated. So before you do this chapter, you have to know the difference between these two methods. Okay, so basically normally they are going to request you to calculate a periodic. Why? Because remember, a system is going to do everything, which means that because the test that you are going to write, it will be manual, you will be required to do what? To calculate a cost of sales under what? A periodic inventory system. However, you have to understand the basic behind a perpetual, because they can ask you the difference between these two methods as well. Okay, let's go back to our information. They said this business is using a periodic inventory system. Simply means that now we know that we are going to do what? To calculate manually. Okay, then let's take required. They said 3.1 mention two possible reasons that Zama chose to use the periodic inventory system for her business. Now we have to give a reason, the possible reason why Zama chose to use a periodic inventory system. Okay, let's lay down the possibility. They said 2, which means that 1.2 marks. Okay, number 1, of course, probably she can't afford to purchase what? Expensive system. Okay, it's because she won't be able to purchase expensive system or equipment. She won't be able to afford those expensive systems. Another reason why she also choose a periodic inventory system is because she noticed that the business that she is running is still small. So this is another reason. She realized that her business is still small. All right, so you can give any other reason. So there is no limit when it comes to explaining your own reason, because the question stated that they are looking for possibilities. Okay, so now let's go to 3.2. 3.2, they said calculate the business total purchase for the year ended 31 July 2022, and they say that it's 8 marks. Okay, so in this question, of course, they want us to calculate a total purchase. Okay, let's go to information. Information number A, they give us the balances and total in general ledger. Okay, number 1, they give us stock on hand on 1 August 2021, which is going to be opening, of course. Number 2, they give us purchase on 1 July 2022. Number 3, they give us a carriage on purchase 1 July 2022. Okay, then number B, they say that the following transactions were made with the community members during 2022 on July. Okay, so that's where we're going to determine our purchases. However, guys, on number A, they also give us a purchase that has been made during the year. Okay, the purchase that they give us is 241,200. Okay, which means that we're going to start with that one, 241,200. Okay, then after that we're gonna add other purchases that have been made, because they said that they are looking for total. Okay, then number B, they said 5 larger wooden animal caving were purchased from Mavunja for 350 each. Okay, they purchased a 5 wooden. Okay, which means that what we have to do is to say 5 multiplied by 350, which is going to give us 1,750. 1750. We got it because we said 5 multiplied by 350 and we get this amount. Okay, let's take other purchase. Homemade vegetable pickles and jam were purchased from Mrs. Gaza for a total of 1,220. Then, unfortunately, 4 bottles of pickles were spoiled and could not be sold. Mrs. Gaza refunded Zama 80 rand for this spoiled item. Okay, so in total, we make a purchase of 1,220, but there were 80 that were damaged, which means that what we have to do is to take our 1,220. Okay, we have to open a bracket and show calculation first. 1,220, and we have to subtract what? 8, which is going to give us how much? Okay, let's calculate. It's going to give us 1,140 after we have subtracted the 80 which were damaged. Okay, now let's proceed to the other transaction. They said that corset clothing and clothes purchased from Mrs. Gumbi for 4,500. Zama took one of these items, costing 250 for personal use. Once we hear the word personal use, we know that it's drawings, which means that that item were taken and used for personal use, not for business, which means that that amount we have to do what? To subtract it. Okay, so which means that we are going to take an amount of 4,500 and we subtract 250 and we left with 4,250. Okay, plus 4,250. Guys, please always make sure that you show how you got this amount. You said 4,500 minus 250 and you got this one. Okay, now let's check if we have any other purchase. Okay, then the last one, they said other stock item purchased from walk-in sellers by 10,820 plus 10,820. Okay, that was the last transaction of purchases. Then after that, which means that now we can add everything and get what? A total. Okay, if you can add even on your side, you will get amount of let's calculate. It's 241,200 plus 1,750 plus 1,140, and you also add an amount of 4,250 plus 10,820, which is going to give you amount of 259 and 160. 259,160. That's our total purchase. All right. So now, because we got our purchase, we can go back to question 3.3. Okay, because we are done with 3.2. Draft the trading account in the general ledger for the year ended 31 July 2022. 9 marks. Okay, so if you can check on our whiteboard, you will find that I already draw a trading account. When we talk about a trading account, simple means that we are talking about a ledger account. So in our ledger account, of course, we have a debit side and we also have a credit side. Okay, we have a detail where you are going to write a detail, and we have a side of amount, a detail, and side of amount. So please make sure that you know this format. I know that they are going to provide you with this table, but you have to know format. What are you going to include? Because they are going to give you an empty space like this, where you have to do what? to fill up your details as well as what amount. All right, now let's check our information. So maybe before we go to information, we must first try to lay down a possible format that we are going to fill. Okay, on the debit side, we are going to have opening balance. Okay, opening balance. Then we have a purchases. The purchases is the same purchases that we calculated this side, which means that no need for you to open a bracket because you already awarded a marks for those calculations. Okay, then we have a carriage on purchase. Okay, sometimes you can also call it a transport cost, import duties, export duties, and so on and so on. All right, then after that we're gonna have a sales this side, and we're gonna have a closing balance. All right, then which means that after that you can determine whether it's a loss or profit. Okay, then we're gonna do a total, because you know that when we deal with a ledger account, debit side must always be the same as credit side. Okay, then now let's go and start with opening balance. If we have any under information number A, if you still remember, we found that we have a stock on hand on 1 August 2021. So 1 August is our opening balance, is last year. Opening balance is the balance that we have on the last year and we carry it on this year. Okay, opening balance will be 23,700. 23,700. Okay, as I said when I was doing this format, remember the purchase is the same purchase that we already calculated on the previous question, which is going to be 259,160 is this one. You just transfer it as it is. So simple means that even if you calculate it incorrectly, you're still going to get a method mark. All right, let's proceed. Now let's check our carriage on purchase. On information number A, we have a carriage on purchase of 5,700. Okay, but in this case you must open a bracket first. 5,700, and check the information if you have any further information that is related to transport. Let's check number C. Number C, they said a transport cost due to her community members not always having a transport to deliver item to the shop. Zama often collect them from their home. This month she traveled 375 kilometers to collect items. Okay, then Zama has calculated that her vehicle used approximately 5 liters of petrol for every 1,000 kilometers traveled. Okay, then after that they said a current fuel is 26 rand and 140. Okay, so this is the information that we have to use to calculate our transport cost. So how are we going to calculate it? Firstly, we determine that she traveled 375 kilometers. Okay, and she used 5 liters per every 100 kilometers. So this is how we are going to calculate it. Okay, let me open the calculator this way. All right, so in order for us to calculate this transport cost, this is what we are going to do. We are going to say a 375, a total that she traveled, and 100 multiplied by 5 liter that she used. Okay, then which means that the answer that we are going to get after that, we are going to multiply it by 26 rand and 40 cents, and that she used per liter. Then after that is going to give you 495 rand, which means that after that you are going to say it 5,700 plus 495. Then we calculate, and it's gonna give us 6,195. Our carriage on purchase will be 6,195 after additional information. Okay, then now let's proceed with the information. Number D, they said total cash taken for the year amount to 395,200. That's a sales amount of 395 and how much? 395,200. This is amount that we receive from our customers. Okay, number E, they said on 31 July 2022, Zama complete her annual stock take and determine that stock value at 28,400 on hand. Okay, simply means that this is a closing balance, 28,400. Okay, after that, now we're left with profit or loss. Simply means that we are going to get it as a what? As a balancing figure. How do we get a balancing figure? It's very simple. We check which side is higher. A higher side, of course, is credit side. We are going to add 395,200 plus 28,400, which is going to give us, let me see, amount of 423,600. 423,600. Even this side, 423,600. Then after that, we take 423,600 and we subtract everything. We're gonna get the balance. Okay, 423,600 minus 23,700 minus 259 160 minus 6,195, and it's going to give us amount of 134 and 545. Simple as that, guys. Okay, so the last part that I'm also want to show you is how to calculate a cost of sales. So thank you so much. If you are still watching this video, please make sure that you like this video and subscribe. This channel is going to help you even when you do your metric, because I also do videos for metric and I'm still going to do more videos for grade 11. So there is question 1 on this question paper and question 2. Please check on my playlist for grade 11. You're gonna find all those other questions that is going to help you to prepare your test and your examination. All right, so now the question is, how are you going to calculate your cost of sales? Okay, I'm just gonna do it here. How do we calculate a cost of sales? It's very simple. You have to use a formula, which I'm going to lay it down here. Formula says opening balance plus purchase plus carriage on purchase minus closing balance. Then it's gonna give you a cost of sales. That's the formula that you have to use under a periodic inventory system. So in our case, it's simple for us to calculate a cost of sales, because opening balance, we have it is 23,700 plus purchase of 249,160 and plus carriage of 6,195. 95, and after that we subtract our closing balance of 28,400. So when you calculate cost of sales, please don't touch sales and don't touch profit or loss balancing figure. Then if you calculate everything there and you subtract, you are going to get your cost of sales. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please comment anything on the comment section so that I will know that my audience that are watching these videos are understanding my method to do everything. Please make sure that you comment anything, or if you have any question or you just appreciate the video, please make sure that you comment. See you on the next one. Goodbye, guys.